Hey folks, we're going to share another nugget of wisdom from the book of Proverbs. Today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1, which says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." I want to compare a couple of different scenarios and see how things were handled. It might surprise you to know that sometimes husbands and wives, they argue and they fight with one another. I know it's shocking, but true. But let's look at compare these two scenarios we're about to look at and see if we can gain some wisdom here and understand what Solomon is talking about when he says that a soft answer turneth away wrath. And so scenario number one, here we see a woman says, "I am so angry with you that I could just scream." The husband looks back at her and he says, "Go ahead, it's your fault anyway. You're the one who distracted me as we were going out after I ate that bowl of ice cream." "What did you say?" she yelled back. "How is it my fault? You're the moron who put the ice cream in the pantry. You're the idiot who left the freezer door open." "Well, fine," he yells. "I'm going out for more ice cream, and I might not come back." He slams the door and he walks out. Think about this. She had the right to be upset with him for putting the ice cream in the pantry, melted, ruined all the food that was in the pantry, and leaving the freezer door open, ruining yet more food. But she did not have the right to speak to him so spitefully and use such hateful words in her anger. Her grievous words stirred his anger to greater wrath. An angry rejoinder, while tempting, especially when you're also angry, will only lead to more strife. Now, neither one was right in this scenario. They both became angry, but their words sharing back and forth just served to make both of them even angrier than they were at the beginning. And so here's this other scenario. Imagine this. Again, the husband yells, "I'm so angry with you that I could just scream." The wife looks up at him and she says in a very soft voice, "I'm sorry you feel that way, and I apologize." He looks at her for a moment with a bewildered expression on his face. A woman just apologized. With a bewildered expression on his face and said, I didn't hear you. Did you just apologize?" "Yes," she said. "Will you forgive me?" "Well, of course I will," he says. And so think about her answer in this case. It was a soft answer. It was soft in two ways. I've got a friend of mine who was a basketball referee in NCAA, and one of the things that they were trained to do is that if the coach is yelling at you or screaming at you, to answer him in a quiet voice. Don't yell back. When he answers, as he gets louder, you get softer. That way the coach has to kind of calm down a little bit to understand what you're saying. And so that's what she did. Her voice was soft, and so he had to stop and think about what it was that she was saying. And second, her answer was soft because her words were kind and tender. A softly spoken answer, her softly spoken apology did two things. It caused him to stop and think what she had said, and second, it brought his anger down several notches. And so her soft answer turned away his wrath. You see, sometimes, a good man, he's good in most ways, but sometimes he may be swift to anger. But when his anger is given a moment to cool, his anger will dissipate as fast as it came on. But if you make someone angry and then you continue to use grievous words, all it does is make them angrier and angrier. And so, as Christians, we are called upon to be peacemakers, not strife makers. Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." And so when someone, lashes out at you angrily, follow God's advice and give a soft answer. In many cases, that will halt the anger right there and could lead to reconciliation. In James chapter 1, verses 19 and 20, James there writes, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God." And Colossians chapter 4, verse 6 says there, "Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how you ought to answer every man." And so when someone is angry with you, use a soft answer. Turn away their wrath. Seek to be a peacemaker in all things, so that we can be truly called the children of God.